Hello and welcome to another video. This time we're looking at printing bitmaps. As usual, the normal tools you'll need are just Nano and the Easy80 assembler. A couple of sample images are included within the source code, but if you want to create your own images then you will need an image editor such as GIMP. The bitmaps we'll be using today are what are called 32-bit bitmaps. There are 3 channels, red, green and blue, each which contain 1 byte, and an alpha channel which also contains a byte. The example graphics we will be using are 16 by 16 pixels, so when you take into account that there are 4 bytes per pixel, that file will total in size 1024 bytes. If we take a look at the code, the start of the project is exactly the same as what we've had before. The main section that we're going to use for printing a bitmap onto the screen starts here. We're going to be using 2 examples, a crystal and a star, and I've given each of them an ID number 0 and 1 using the equate command. The first thing that we're going to be doing is setting the display to non-scale graphics, so that all of our graphics start at 00 at the top left of the screen. Before we can print a bitmap, we need to load it into memory. The assembler here will include it as data within our binary file. The first VDU command, 23270, selects a bitmap, and the 4th parameter is the number, the ID number of that bitmap. We've called that crystal. Crystal is 0. 23271 will load a bitmap into the current selected bitmap. After the command, it needs to know the size. So here it's 16 by 16. Note here that these are words because a bitmap can be bigger than 255. And then here's a new command we haven't used before, incbin. It's going to include the raw binary from this file here. We're then going to do a second one, exactly the same, except this one is star. Once we've loaded the 2 graphics into our file, we can then use them. So to print onto the screen, we use db 23270 and then the ID number to select the bitmap that we want to use. And the command 23273 will draw the currently selected bitmap. And that will be followed by the X and Y coordinates of the screen. Again, these are in words because pixels can be greater than 255 pixels across or down the screen. This command is available from VDP 1.04 onwards. However, if you're on a newer version, such as 2.10, then there's a new command which is a plot bitmap. We select in the same way 23270 and then the ID number of the bitmap we wish to select, but this time it's using the plot command. 25 and then in hexadecimal ET will plot the absolute position of a bitmap. And again we're going to follow it by a position on the screen, 150, 120. Again, both of those are words. You can find out more about those commands on the wiki site. The main wiki includes descriptions of what we've just looked at for selecting bitmaps. The wiki for console A includes more details of that plot25 command. We've looked at this before when we were plotting, but in this case there's a number down here that we use for plotting bitmaps. As VDP develops, the plot command will become more powerful. So if we take a look at our Agon and assemble the file, and load our file and run it, you can see that it has indeed plotted 2 bitmap graphics, the crystal and the star, at the coordinates we defined. You can try changing the coordinates for yourself, or even have a go at building some of your own graphics to import.